What we need to understand is that when we have congruent figures, we know that congruent figures are the same size and the same shape. That's what we've been doing this whole time.
Yeah, I knew that.
Now, what we are going to do today, think of the proofs that we have been doing for the past several days. We can prove that triangles are congruent by side, 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 angle, side, hypotenuse, leg, angle, side, angle, 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 side. Okay? Well, if we can show that two triangles are congruent, doesn't that mean that all of their corresponding pieces are congruent? Yes. Okay? So we are basically going to take our proof of a triangle that's congruent and add one more step to it. Okay? If we can prove that triangles are congruent, okay, then we know, and I'm going to give you an abbreviation. CPCTC. I'm going to have you write it down, and then I'm going to tell you what it means. What? What? Uh-huh. Corresponding parts.
To tickle him.
T is a triangle.
Yes.
I think the last C is congruent. Yeah.
It's the middle.
Corresponding
Construction.
could triangles congruent.
That's what it says.
They're both congruent.
Corresponding
Ooh.
parts congruent. Triangles congruent.
Corresponding parts of congruent triangles are congruent. You need to know what CPCTC means because you're going to have to write it in your proof. I just told you you need to be able to write CPCTC in your proof. CPCTC. But if you don't know what CPCT stands for, how are you going to use it?
You could just write down CPOTA.
What? Not very nice.
We're not arguing anymore.
It just sounds like it's just gonna taste like that. Working or what? Not biting your child. You wanna try something? No. You sure? It tastes like birthday cake. Jared, does it taste like birthday cake?
What I would like you to do,
There's a tornado. Oh no, guys.
I thought those were L.
Tornado. Oh no, guys. There's a tornado.
Twister.
okay, this is under that notes portion. We are going to write a proof. So I am going to give you a couple moments here to get this picture written down with the given and what we need to prove. And we are going to talk about how we do this proof. Hey, let's not talk like that, please.
Sorry, he said it was a purge.
Thank you. Do you have a question now?
Why does it always happen versus March 5?
I don't know. You should try it. Ollie,
Thank you.
since it's such a mad topic, you should try it.
Whatever it is. Start on homework.
So can you just be in here for this proof, just in case I say something that's important that you need? And then I'll let you go to Miss. Does that sound fair? Okay. All right. Let's go ahead and talk about this picture. I see some people have already written in that angle F is congruent to angle M. Angle 1 is congruent to angle 2 because of our given information. Okay? Did anybody actually mark it in their diagram?
I did.
Okay. So angle F is this guy. Angle M is this guy. And then here's angle 1 and here's angle 2. Okay? Now, the first thing we need to worry about is proving that triangle's congruent. Okay? So this is what I'm going to tell you right now. Whatever we do, our second to last step is going to be our two triangles congruent. And our very last step always has to be the prove, okay? But when we're talking about just like two sides of a pair of triangles or two angles from a pair of triangles, then our last reason is going to be CPCTC. Okay, so that is what our goal is. Okay, now, what do you think we can say about this diagram that wasn't written in our given? Okay, Sydney, what can we write?
That like the middle line is the transversal, so
Okay, Alex?
Not necessarily, but because of the reflexive property, we can show that PL is congruent to PL.
Okay, so PL is congruent to PL because of the reflexive property. And if I go in here and I mark that on my diagram, then do we have three pieces of information about our two triangles? Yeah, we do. So in our third step, we can say that these two triangles are congruent because of what? Angle, side. We have two angles and a non-included side. So here's the deal. We got to be able to write these triangles in the correct order. So if I call it FLP, then what is my other triangle? MPL? Is that? Okay, let's do this. FLP. I go from one swoop to two swoops to the blank one. MPL. Okay. So now we can say, okay, FP is congruent to ML by CPCTC. Okay. Literally, people, we are taking a proof from the past week and we're adding one step to it. Once I prove that two triangles are congruent, then my last step are those pieces congruent by CPCTC.
Wait, so do you do that on every single piece?
Any proof where I'm asking you for two pieces being congruent. Okay? So, you know what? Let's do this. Let's do geometry. could you, in your folder, turn to page maybe 13, maybe 14. I'm not sure which one.
Probably 13. Oh, I was right. Can you do that?
Yep. Nope. Page 14.
Oh, I was wrong.
Page 14.
What about this? Stands for corresponding. Stands for
Okay, so the first thing I want you to do is fill this out right here. What does CPCTC stand for? I said page 14.
I can't find that.
I already have that here.
There we go.
Oh, we do. Interesting. You already know CPCTC. I gave you a head start.
I don't know about that.
Hey, how'd your game go yesterday?
Oh, we didn't win. It was like 39-31.
Oh, so close. So my intention was to watch your game at the same time as varsity's, and you didn't play first.
I know. It's like, dude, we should play first.
I know. I was all ready to watch you, but I didn't have
The refs for our game was not good.
Well, what's new?
If there's like a question on the test where we don't need to use CPTCC, that whatever, to solve this, do you still want us to use this, or can we just do the bare minimum to get that?
If you want to go next door, you can. I don't know, like, if there's something you can do with, like, parallel lines, is that what you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine. If you can prove it, prove it. All right, so let's talk about problem number 1. What am I going to tell you to do with your given information besides put it in the first line? Mark it. So we know that AB and AD are the same. We know BC and CD are congruent. Okay? I am asking you to prove that 2 angles, one from each triangle, are congruent. So before we can prove that these 2 angles are congruent, what must we prove? We must prove that the triangles are congruent. So if I already have 2 pairs of sides congruent, what do you think we could mark up there? Oh man, I love it. AC is congruent to itself because of the reflexive property, which means now, triangle, and you know what? I'm just going to make it easy on myself. BCA and DCA. Why did you think I did that? Well, I knew that the angles had to be in the right order, so I just wrote them in that order. If you wrote ABC and ADC, is that fine? Yeah. Of course it is. So now in our last step, we can say, hey, these angles are congruent because they're corresponding parts of congruent triangles.
Because